This is not a tale of fear, but of wonder. The soft kind of terror that comes when you realize how vast and unknowable the cosmos truly is. Each chapter invites the listener to drift through the night sky, to feel the pulse of distant galaxies, to lie quietly in the dark and understand that mystery itself is the heart of existence. You will not be frightened here, only fascinated, gently held by the unknown. You float through the quiet void, that velvet space between stars where light hesitates to travel. Here, darkness isn't emptiness. It's the cradle of everything that could ever be. Your heartbeat becomes the rhythm of cosmic stillness, and you begin to see that even silence has a story. The stars are far apart, far more than you've ever imagined. When you look up from the cradle of your planet, you see them as tiny points scattered across a night sky. But out here, between them, the space stretches endlessly. It is not black like ink or solid like stone. It is softer, more like velvet dust, pressed by infinite distance. You drift within it, a single awareness moving through an ocean of calm. There is no sound. The silence is not empty, but thick, like the hush that follows the last note of a lullaby. The kind of silence that listens back. Your breathing slows, and for a moment, you are not sure if it is your lungs or the universe that exhales. The air around you, or rather the nothing around you, holds you gently. It feels ancient, as though every atom once whispered across eons to find its place. You are between stars, in a region so vast that a beam of light would take centuries to cross. The nearest sun is a mere glimmer, a whisper of warmth lost in immeasurable cold. Yet the cold does not bite, it soothes. It invites stillness. You begin to realize how young all noise is. The hum of machines, the rustle of air, even the pulse in your ears. Here, before everything, there was quiet. You imagine this darkness as a fabric, invisible threads woven from space and time. It stretches in every direction, holding galaxies like beads on a web. Each point of light is a distant hearth, glowing with the story of its own birth. But between them lies this, the silent, sacred space that carries everything else. The darkness, you understand, is not the absence of light. It is the presence of possibility. Scientists once thought the void was empty, a vast nothingness separating stars and galaxies. But as instruments grew more sensitive, they found whispers in the quiet. The darkness was alive with invisible energy, with particles appearing and disappearing in the blink of a quantum sigh. Even here, in what seems still, there is motion, tiny fluctuations, the smallest shivers of existence. You can almost feel them, like faint ripples brushing against your skin. The silence, it turns out, is filled with secrets. Every cubic centimeter of space contains more mystery than you can hold in thought. Waves of invisible light, radio waves, microwaves, X-rays, drift quietly through you. They pass without resistance, carrying messages from stars that died before Earth ever formed. You are not alone in this stillness. You are surrounded by the echoes of the cosmos itself. You let your mind wander through the scale of it all. Distances measured not in miles, but in light years. The distance light travels in a single year, nearly 10 trillion kilometers. Between one star and the next, there might be dozens of light years. Between one galaxy and another, millions. Yet the universe holds it all as though distance were a kind of breath, expanding, contracting, moving softly between extremes. You close your eyes, and in the darkness behind your eyelids, you sense the same vastness that surrounds you. It feels familiar, almost intimate. Inside your body, space echoes space. Between each atom in your hand, there is more emptiness than matter. Just as between stars, the void outweighs the light. You are made of both, matter and silence, brightness and shadow. The same balance that governs galaxies hums quietly in your veins. You begin to drift, not through space, but through understanding. The dark stretches out like a calm sea, and you are a single wave upon its surface. You remember that everything began here in this silence. Before stars were born, before galaxies spun themselves into being, the universe was a dark, even sea. Out of that stillness came the first light, a flicker, a murmur of hydrogen gathering under gravity's patient pull. The stars you see now are the children of that first light. They burn and sing across billions of years, scattering heavy elements into the dark. Carbon, oxygen, iron, all born from stellar furnaces, all drifting through the quiet until gravity gathers them again. Even now, your body carries atoms forged in those long-ago stars. You are part of their story. The silence between them, is also within you. You look outward again, and your eyes trace the faint haze of a galaxy's arm far in the distance. It spirals slowly, like a sleeping dancer turning in her dreams. The stars move so gently it's impossible to notice in any single moment. Yet over ages, everything drifts, drawn together, pulled apart. A quiet choreography, guided by gravity's invisible hand. You feel it tug at you, not to capture you, but to remind you that everything is connected, even in distance. You imagine time itself as a soft current flowing through this silence. Every second carries traces of what came before, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang still rippling through all space. If you could listen deeply enough, you might hear it, a gentle hiss, like the sound of static on an old radio. That sound is the universe's memory, a remnant of its birth still whispering in the background of everything. You float, and time seems to dissolve. Without air, there is no wind. Without a nearby planet, there is no horizon. Up and down lose meaning. There is only direction, toward light or toward deeper dark. You feel weightless not just in body but in thought. The mind, freed from edges, expands quietly. You begin to understand why silence has always felt sacred. Because it holds all the potential for sound. Even the stars, blazing as they are, need this darkness to be seen. Their light, delicate and ancient, travels for ages before reaching your eyes. Each photon that brushes against you has crossed gulfs of emptiness, survived collisions, dodged dust, and still carries its original warmth. You feel honored to receive them. These tiny travelers, these bright memories of distant fires. The more you look, the more you notice how alive the darkness is. Dust clouds drift like soft smoke, hiding newborn stars within. Streams of charged particles flow invisibly between suns. The universe breathes in long, slow rhythms, expansion and collapse, creation and stillness. You find comfort in its patience. Nothing in the cosmos hurries, and neither should you. You let your awareness stretch until it meets no boundary. The silence feels infinite, yet personal. As if the universe is not something you look at, but something you are inside of. The darkness does not swallow you. It welcomes you. It holds you like an old friend. In this vast calm, you understand that mystery isn't meant to frighten. It's meant to humble, to soften, to remind you that knowledge is always unfolding. Your heartbeat becomes a soft metronome marking the passage of unseen moments. Each pulse echoes faintly, like the rhythm of orbiting worlds. You think of how stars, too, have their own heartbeats, flickers of brightness that pulse across time. Somewhere, perhaps, a star beats in rhythm with you now. As you drift further into stillness, a question begins to rise, gentle, curious, unhurried. If the darkness between stars is not truly empty, what fills it? What invisible breath gives it form? What unseen hand shapes the void? You sense that the answer lies ahead, woven deep into the very fabric of space itself. And in that thought, the silence deepens. You drift deeper into the invisible weave of space itself. What seems like nothing hums with hidden energy, whispering the rules of existence. Quantum fields shimmer like sleeping oceans. You learn that the void is alive, breathing, shifting, infinite. You move softly now, leaving behind the comforting glow of distant stars. The darkness deepens, but it no longer feels empty. It feels awake. Around you, the silence thickens with invisible movement, like air stirring before dawn, or waves shifting far below the surface of the sea. You are entering the most mysterious place in the universe, the vacuum, the space between everything. Once, humans believed this emptiness was truly nothing, a vast, hollow stillness separating the stars, the planets, the atoms themselves. They imagined it as the pause between notes in the music of creation, the gap where existence stops. But the more we looked, the more that nothing began to hum, instruments listening to the quiet discovered whispers, tiny fluctuations, faint tremors in the dark. The vacuum, it turns out, is not an absence, but a presence. You imagine yourself shrinking, smaller and smaller, past the dust of galaxies, past molecules, past atoms. Soon, you are within the emptiness inside an atom, that great space between the nucleus and its electrons. You expect silence there too, but what you find is motion. Invisible energy flickering like candlelight in a storm. Virtual particles appear and vanish in a heartbeat, existing for moments so brief They defy the idea of time itself. This is the quantum vacuum, a sea of potential, restless even when it seems still. Physicists describe it as a field, not a void, a field that fills every inch of the universe. It's as if the cosmos is wrapped in invisible fabric, and that fabric never lies flat. It ripples, shivers, and folds, giving rise to everything that will ever be. Matter, energy, light, all of it emerges from this constant, restless dance. You can think of it as the ocean before the waves, still, yet full of movement waiting to happen. Within this deep sea, energy cannot truly disappear. It can only shift forms, hiding in the folds of space. The universe, you realize, never truly rests. Even its silence vibrates with creation. As you drift through this invisible ocean, you begin to sense how it shapes reality. Every particle, every atom is like a ripple traveling through the same universal field. Electrons, protons, photons. They are not separate things, but patterns in the same underlying sea. You are surrounded by it, built from it, carried by it. The vacuum isn't outside of you, it's within you. Every atom in your body floats upon it, moves because of it, exists through it. You pause for a moment and listen, not with ears, but with awareness. You imagine what these invisible waves might sound like if you could translate them into music. It wouldn't be loud, it would be the faintest hum, the note beneath all notes, the heartbeat of the cosmos. The idea feels comforting, to know that even in stillness there is motion, to know that even in emptiness there is life. It is like realizing that the dark between your breaths is not a void, but part of your rhythm, the pause that makes the inhale possible. Quantum physicists once called this background energy zero-point energy, the lowest energy a system can have. But lowest does not mean none. Even at absolute zero, when all motion should stop, the universe still trembles. It never fully goes quiet. The cosmos is a sleeper who never quite stops dreaming. You drift further, watching these dreams unfold. Tiny particles pop in and out of existence, fleeting, unpredictable, unstoppable. They appear in pairs, one particle, one antiparticle. They meet, kiss, and vanish, leaving only the faintest trace. You might think they mean nothing, but their presence shapes everything, from the glow of stars to the structure of galaxies. Without their flicker, the universe would unravel. The vacuum, then, is the true foundation. Not a stage upon which existence happens, but the very fabric that allows existence to be. It's like the paper upon which all words are written, or the silence that gives meaning to sound. Without it, the story could not begin. You remember the first chapter, that vast silence between the stars. You thought you had found emptiness there, but now you see it differently. That darkness is full, dense with invisible energy, with fields stretching endlessly in all directions. Every inch of the night sky hums with unseen potential. Even in the darkest corner of the cosmos, creation has never stopped breathing. As you float, your thoughts begin to slow. The scale of it all feels soothing, not overwhelming. You imagine yourself resting in this field, like a leaf on an infinite pond. The waves beneath you move without force, without sound, and you move with them. The vacuum holds you the way gravity holds planets, quietly, consistently, with care. It makes you wonder, if everything comes from this invisible field, what is it made of? What breathes life into the quantum sea? Does the field simply exist, or was it born too? You imagine the universe as an artist, sketching itself upon its own invisible canvas, again and again. Perhaps the canvas itself, this vacuum, is both the beginning and the eternal background. There's something deeply human in that thought. We search for meaning, for the place where something began, for the moment creation started. But the vacuum reminds you that beginnings are not single points. They are processes, ripples, continuations of what came before. Even nothingness has history. Even the void has memory. You reach out in imagination and touch the fabric of space. It doesn't feel solid. It feels like vibration, like a whisper of motion barely there. You sense that if you could tune yourself to its rhythm, you could hear the echo of the universe being born, the faint vibration that still lingers, still shaping everything around you. In the quiet, you realize something profound. Emptiness and fullness are the same thing. What seems like nothing is actually everything, only hidden from sight, folded beneath perception. The universe is not built upon emptiness. It is built upon invisible presence. You are floating not through void, but through potential. through the quiet, living body of reality itself. You take a slow breath, letting this truth settle like soft dust across your mind. Around you, the darkness glows faintly, as if responding to your calm. You feel weightless but not lost. You feel small but not insignificant. Because now you know, you are made of the same trembling field that fills the cosmos. You are a ripple in the sea of nothing that is actually everything. And as you drift in that thought, suspended, listening, another question begins to rise, faint but insistent, like a new wave forming in the deep. If this hidden energy hums beneath every inch of space, what ancient light still lingers above it, carrying the memory of how it all began? You follow a faint, ancient glow, the leftover warmth from the universe's first breath. It's a soft afterimage of creation, still rippling across the heavens. Every photon tells a story 13 billion years old. You listen, and time begins to blur. You drift in the quiet, carried by invisible motion, the hum of the universe's own memory. The darkness around you feels endless, yet something faint stirs within it, a whisper of light so gentle it almost doesn't exist. You close your eyes and sense it, a presence older than stars, softer than breath. It is everywhere, behind you, before you, within you. It is the ghost light of the beginning. When the universe was young, it glowed, not with the light of stars, for there were no stars yet, but with the brilliance of pure creation, a sea of fire and motion, too bright to see. Space was not vast then. It was dense and hot, filled with particles dancing in chaotic harmony. Everything that would ever be, every atom, every galaxy, every living thing existed in that single radiant storm. And then, slowly, it began to cool. You imagine the cooling like evening descending on an endless day. The fiery storm expanded, stretching itself thin. Photons, the tiny packets of light, scattered off particles like raindrops in fog. For hundreds of thousands of years, the universe was a glowing mist. Light trapped, bouncing, searching for freedom. But as it expanded, the fog began to thin. The first atoms formed, calm and neutral. And suddenly, light could travel freely. That moment, when light was released to wander, still lingers. It is not gone. It has simply stretched with time, its fierce brightness softened into a delicate glow that fills all of space. That is what you feel now. The cosmic microwave background, the ancient echo of the universe's birth. You open your mind and try to imagine it. A glow not bright enough to see with your eyes, but everywhere, uniform and constant. Scientists describe it as microwave radiation, invisible light whose waves are longer, slower, quieter than the light we know. If your eyes could see those wavelengths, the night sky would not be black. It would shimmer with a dim, even warmth. The same in every direction, like the embers of an infinite fire. You drift through it as though through fog made of time. The light brushes softly against you, not strong, but certain. Each photon has traveled for nearly 13.8 billion years without rest, untouched by anything but the steady expansion of space itself. They are ancient messengers, carrying a record of what the universe once was. Hot, bright, alive with creation. When scientists first detected this glow in 1965, they did not know what they had found. Two engineers, working on a radio antenna, heard a faint background hiss that would not go away. They cleaned the equipment, checked the wires, even chased away nesting pigeons. But the sound remained. Only later did they realize they were hearing the afterglow of the Big Bang itself. The oldest sound in existence, the background hum of creation. You imagine listening to that hum now, through some deep cosmic ear. It would not sound like music, more like a steady whisper, a quiet presence in every direction. Yet within that whisper lies a story written in temperature, in pattern, in rhythm. The cosmic microwave background is not perfectly smooth. It has tiny fluctuations, delicate differences in warmth and density. Those small variations were the seeds from which galaxies grew. Every cluster of stars, every world, every living thing began as a faint unevenness in that ancient glow. You find that thought deeply calming, that the vast structures of the cosmos were born from tiny imperfections, from slight imbalances in an otherwise perfect sea. It reminds you that creation often begins not from symmetry, but from the gentle disruption of it. Even the universe, it seems, needs a little unevenness to bloom. You float through that primeval light, and your thoughts slow to its rhythm. The photons move without hurry, each one stretched by time until its energy becomes a sigh. The universe has expanded so much that this ancient light, once brilliant, now glows just a few degrees above absolute zero. And yet it still shines. That faint warmth pervades everything. It touches every atom in your body, every corner of existence. It is the softest possible reminder that you are part of something ancient and continuous. If you could gather those photons in your hands, you would feel almost nothing. Yet their story is vast. They have watched the birth of galaxies, the death of stars, the rise of planets, the slow unfolding of time. They are like pages of an infinite diary, still turning, still whispering what they have seen. You imagine tracing one photon's journey. It leaves the early universe, rushing outward as the cosmos expands. Its wavelength stretches, its color reddens, its energy fades, but it never stops. Billions of years pass. Galaxies form and drift apart. Stars live and die. Worlds emerge, oceans rise, eyes open, and still that photon continues, silent, patient, until one day it touches the dish of a telescope on a small blue planet, and the story it has carried for eternity is finally heard. There is something beautifully circular about that the universe, which once glowed everywhere, now whispers its memory into the ears of beings made from its own light. You are not an outsider observing it. You are the continuation of its unfolding, the consciousness through which the cosmos remembers itself. You drift deeper into the idea, and the boundary between you and space begins to fade. The warmth of the cosmic background seems to pulse faintly, like a heartbeat. You sense that the same energy that filled the newborn universe still hums within you, diluted, distant, but unbroken. You are breathing ancient light. In that awareness, time feels less like a line and more like a circle, not a race from beginning to end, but a rhythm, a slow return. The photons around you are ancient, yet their presence is immediate. The past still exists, woven into the present. You are living inside it. You think of the sky on a clear night. Most of what you see are stars that shine from the recent past, a few years, a few centuries away. But the cosmic microwave background is different. It is not light from a star or a galaxy. It is the light from everything, from the first instant when the universe became transparent. It is the original dawn, stretched thin but never extinguished. Perhaps this is why the night sky feels sacred. Because even in its darkness, light endures. Even when nothing seems to shine, the memory of illumination remains. The blackness between stars is not the absence of light, but the accumulation of time. You float in silence, and the faint hum seems to grow warmer, more intimate. You can almost feel the universe breathing, slow, steady, endless. It exhales creation, inhales memory. Somewhere, a galaxy forms. Somewhere else, one dissolves. But this background glow, this ghost light, remains the eternal witness. You begin to understand that the cosmos does not forget. It carries its own history as softly as you carry the rhythm of your heart. The light around you is proof that the beginning never truly ended. It's simply transformed. Creation continues quietly in every corner of space. As you drift, you begin to wonder, if the universe remembers through light, what other forces hold its stories? What invisible hands keep galaxies from scattering into chaos? What unseen matter binds the luminous and the dark together, shaping everything that moves? The question lingers, like a pulse in the silence. The faint, ancient glow begins to fade from view. Not because it's gone, but because you've learned to sense it everywhere. The ghost light has become part of your understanding. The cosmos still hums, soft and patient, waiting for the next mystery to unfold. And in that waiting, you feel the pull of something unseen. Something that holds the stars in place, invisible but strong, shaping the universe's skeleton from within. You turn toward that mystery and drift. At the center of galaxies lie silent storms of gravity, devouring all they touch. You approach one gently, like a moth to a dark flame. Nothing escapes, not even light, yet around the edges, creation dances. You realize destruction and birth are one and the same. You drift toward the heart of a galaxy, a glowing swirl of starlight, dust, and time. Around you, everything spins in quiet majesty, pulled by an unseen force that tugs at the edges of your awareness. It is a kind of gravity so powerful, it bends the language of space itself, turning geometry into poetry. You feel it long before you see it. That presence, vast and calm, hidden beneath the luminous veil of stars. There, in the center, the light fades into a shadow, not darkness exactly, but a kind of infinite depth, as if the universe were holding its breath. This is a black hole, not a hole in the fabric of space, but a well so deep that light, the fastest traveler you know, cannot climb back out. You move closer, and time seems to slow, stretching softly like warm honey. You can almost hear the space around it hum. The black hole doesn't pull in the way a magnet does. It curves everything, light, motion, even the rhythm of moments, into its silent embrace. What looks like a monster of gravity is also a sculptor, shaping galaxies with invisible hands. Stars orbit it in graceful ellipses, glowing threads caught in an unseen dance. You watch one such star circle the darkness, dipping close before soaring outward again. Astronomers back home once watched a similar star and realized, from its wobbling motion, that something invisible must lie at the center, something millions of times heavier than the sun, but smaller than an afternoon shadow on the Earth. You float closer, careful not to cross the horizon, the event horizon, that one-way boundary where even light cannot return. You sense its presence like the surface of a dream, invisible but absolute. Beyond it, the laws of physics bend inward. Space and time trade places. What was once distance becomes duration. What was once motion becomes stillness. You pause, suspended just above that horizon. Around you, light twists into strange spirals, a glowing ring called the accretion disk. It is made of dust and gas, whirling at nearly the speed of light, heated until it shines brighter than 1,000 suns. The air, if air could exist here, would tremble with radiation. Its chaos and beauty in perfect balance, matter falling toward oblivion, but glowing brilliantly before it disappears. In that glow, you find paradox. You realize that what we call destruction is also transformation. The matter that falls in becomes part of something larger, something unseen. The energy released feeds the galaxy around it, sparking new stars in distant clouds. Even as the black hole devours, it nourishes. It is the heartbeat of creation, pulsing in slow cosmic rhythm. You remember what physicists once said: a black hole has no surface, no hard edge, only an event horizon, a veil of no return. But in a way, that horizon behaves like a living skin. It absorbs information, the pattern of everything that falls in, and somehow it keeps a record. Not in the way a library does, but in the subtle ripples of its surface area. Stephen Hawking called this the black hole's entropy, the measure of its hidden complexity. You imagine the horizon quivering slightly, whispering the stories of fallen stars, lost planets, and light itself. Perhaps, in the grand tapestry of the universe, nothing is ever truly erased, only rewritten, reimagined, folded into the endless fabric of what comes next. You think of time again. To you hovering here, everything moves slowly, but to an observer far away, the matter falling toward the black hole seems to freeze, never quite reaching the edge. It fades, red-shifted and stretched, its light dimming until it becomes one with the night. That's how strange gravity becomes here. It stretches not just space, but experience itself. If you could cross the horizon, what would you see? The question is as old as the theory itself. Some imagine a singularity, a point of infinite density where all laws break down. Others suggest that the singularity might not exist at all, that quantum gravity softens the core into something more mysterious, a region where time and space are fluid and undefined. You close your eyes, and for a moment, you try to imagine falling in. You feel no pull, no jolt, only a deep surrender. The moment you cross the horizon, you can no longer send messages back. The rest of the universe fades. And yet, from your own point of view, time feels ordinary. You fall and fall and fall, endlessly, but without fear. It's said that black holes might connect to other parts of the universe, through tunnels called wormholes, bridges between distant corners of space-time. If that were true, perhaps falling in wouldn't be an ending, but a passage, a migration from one realm to another. You smile at the thought, even knowing that physics has yet to confirm it. Still, the idea feels poetic, that even the darkest point could lead somewhere new. You open your eyes. The event horizon glows faintly with something unexpected, a faint ghostly radiation. It's called Hawking radiation, born from the quantum fields that shimmer near the horizon. Particles flicker into being, one falling in, the other escaping outward. In this quiet evaporation, you sense the universe balancing its books. Even black holes, eternal as they seem, will someday fade, giving back all they've taken. One photon at a time, you let that realization settle in your chest. Nothing in the cosmos lasts forever. Not stars, not worlds, not even these colossal hearts of darkness. But perhaps that is the true elegance of existence. Everything cycles, transforms, and continues in another form. The black hole before you is no longer frightening. It feels peaceful. It hums with patience. It doesn't rage or devour with cruelty. It simply is. Like the tide that rises and falls, it follows the quiet logic of the universe, an endless, graceful exchange. You drift around it, tracing the curve of its shadow against the bright swirl of the accretion disk. You notice that light, when it comes too close, doesn't vanish immediately. It bends, looping around again and again, caught in orbits called photon spheres. In those paths, light is both trapped and free, circling forever before fading into the dark. You imagine the ancient travelers of Earth, those who once looked up and wondered if heaven was black because of emptiness or because the light had not yet reached them. You smile softly. Perhaps, in every shadow, there is simply too much light to understand all at once. The black hole pulses gently, and you feel its gravity like a heartbeat beneath your thoughts. You think of the billions of these silent engines scattered across galaxies, each one anchoring a cosmic city, each one telling the same wordless story. To fall is not to end. You take one final look at the horizon. Its edge seems to shimmer, as if breathing. You realize that somewhere, deep within, the laws of physics are still trying to remember themselves, still rewriting, still dreaming. In this quiet space between certainty and mystery, you find rest. The black hole is both a question and an answer, a paradox held together by beauty. You drift back slowly, the light of distant stars returning around you like the first hints of dawn. And as you move away, you begin to wonder if even darkness holds such quiet creation. What might be hidden within the spaces between galaxies, where the filaments of the cosmic web stretch endlessly, connecting everything to everything else? You turn your gaze toward that distant web, invisible yet binding, delicate yet vast, and you wonder softly, what unseen threads hold the universe together, even in the silence between its stars? You sense something unseen holding galaxies together, like a cosmic skeleton. Dark matter neither shines nor speaks, yet without it nothing would remain. You trace its invisible touch through the night. The unseen becomes strangely comforting. You drift through the silent darkness between galaxies. Stars shimmer like distant lanterns scattered across an endless sea, each one anchored to something unseen. Yet, as you look closer, the pattern of the cosmos begins to whisper its secret. A soft, persistent truth hidden beneath the glow. Every spiral galaxy you pass spins with impossible grace. The outer stars whirl so fast they should be flung into the void, scattered like sparks from a slowing wheel. And yet, they stay, bound together by something no telescope can see. You pause, suspended among them, and feel the tug of that invisible presence. It is not light, nor wind, nor sound, but gravity itself, shaped by a substance that hides from every eye. Dark matter. You whisper the words like a spell, though it makes no sound here. This unseen substance outweighs all the shining stars by nearly 5 to 1. It doesn't glow, doesn't absorb, doesn't reflect, and yet its gravity sculpts the very structure of the universe. You realize then that what we can see, the galaxies, the suns, the dust and gas, is only the visible skin of a much larger body. The cosmos, it seems, is mostly made of shadow. You let that thought settle. It doesn't frighten you, it soothes you, because in that vast silence, there's comfort in knowing that even the invisible has purpose. Dark matter isn't absence, it's presence, quiet, patient, and sustaining. You move through a cluster of galaxies now, a grand ballet of light bound together by unseen threads. Each galaxy swirls like a glowing leaf caught in a whirlpool. The space between them is thin, yet filled with something dense in meaning. You sense the gravitational web connecting them, delicate as lace yet strong as steel. It's as if the universe is woven from dark filaments, stretching across billions of light years. The cosmic web, the hidden skeleton of everything. From afar, you imagine how it must look. immense strands of dark matter connecting galaxy clusters like pearls on an invisible string. Where those filaments intersect, galaxies form, bright nodes in a vast unseen network. It's in these intersections that stars are born, that worlds begin. You realize with a quiet awe that the darkness between galaxies isn't empty. It's alive with structure, guiding creation with invisible hands. You think of the scientists who first noticed something strange, the galaxies spinning too fast, the clusters holding too tightly together. Vera Rubin, decades ago, studied the orbits of stars around galaxies and saw what others had missed. The stars moved as though surrounded by more mass than could be seen. Her data whispered of a hidden scaffold, something vast and silent holding it all in place. She listened to the cosmos carefully, and the universe spoke, not in light, but in motion. You smile softly. Even now, dark matter remains a riddle. Some think it's made of particles, perhaps WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles that pass through everything, even you, without leaving a trace. Others imagine axions, ghostly waves that hum quietly through the cosmic fabric. There are even theories that perhaps gravity itself behaves differently on the largest scales, that maybe there's no dark matter at all. Only a deeper rule we haven't yet learned to name. But as you float here, you don't need certainty. You feel it instead. That subtle weight, that calm anchor that keeps galaxies from flying apart. The unknown doesn't always need to be solved. Sometimes it's enough to feel its rhythm. You look around again and notice something beautiful. How dark matter gives shape to light. Where its gravity gathers, gas collects and cools, birthing stars that shine for eons. Without this invisible foundation, there would be no galaxies, no suns, no life. The luminous universe is built upon darkness, as if creation itself needed shadow to find its form. You let that truth ripple through you. How often, you wonder, does the unseen hold your own world together? Gravity that you cannot feel, air you do not see, emotions that guide you quietly beneath thought. The cosmos seems to mirror your inner life, luminous moments floating on an unseen structure of memory and meaning. You are, in a way, your own galaxy, light held together by invisible forces. You drift along one of those dark filaments now. Around you, faint halos of galaxies flicker like fireflies along a midnight path. You sense how dark matter gathers them, wrapping each one in a cocoon of gravity. The shapes are beautiful, not random, but purposeful, like a pattern woven by a patient hand. You recall the early universe, when everything was a warm fog of hydrogen and light. Even then, dark matter was already there, shaping the first clumps of matter, guiding them into clusters. Without it, the universe would have remained a mist. No stars, no galaxies, no you. Dark matter didn't shine, but it made shining possible. You realize that the universe owes its form to what cannot be seen. Light follows the map written by shadow. You pause and close your eyes. You imagine all the unseen particles passing through you. Billions every second, silent and invisible. They move through the earth, through mountains, oceans and stars, as if the material world were nothing but a gentle fog to them. They remind you how thin the boundary is between seen and unseen, known and unknown. You think of it as a kind of cosmic trust, the universe built upon faith in the invisible. Every orbit, every spiral, every flicker of starlight owes its rhythm to something that cannot be touched. It's humbling, you think, and strangely intimate. The galaxies continue their slow dance around you. You notice their faint halos, not made of light, but of gravitational reach. Each one extends far beyond what can be seen, like an aura of influence. If you could see dark matter, the sky would glow with ghostly webs, vast and interconnected, stretching endlessly into the dark. You breathe deeply, though there is no air here, only the quiet pulse of gravity. The cosmos feels less like a machine and more like a living organism, each part held in balance by the unseen. You are reminded again that the universe doesn't need your understanding to be beautiful. It asks only for your wonder. You float in silence, letting your thoughts dissolve into the rhythm of the galaxies. The dark matter that holds them feels gentle, not oppressive. A quiet strength that asks for nothing, gives everything, and reveals itself only through its care. You feel small but not lost. Connected, but not confined. The darkness, you realize, is not empty at all. It's the framework that allows light to exist. You smile as that realization hums softly through you, a truth both scientific and deeply human. The unseen holds everything together. The galaxies around you drift in slow harmony, their shapes glowing faintly against the infinite night. For the first time, the darkness feels warm. You sense it breathing, alive with quiet meaning. Not a void, but a presence. You turn your gaze outward, following one of the invisible filaments as it stretches into deeper space. Somewhere along its path, you feel another mystery calling, not of matter this time, but of motion itself. You wonder what it means that the universe isn't just held together, but still expanding, still accelerating, as if pushed by a force even stranger than dark matter. You follow that thought into the deep, your awareness expanding with the stars. What if something unseen is not only holding the universe together, but pushing it apart? The stars drift apart, not falling, but fleeing. An unknown force pushes them away, expanding space like breath in cold air. Dark energy hums softly at the edges of comprehension. You realize that even the universe longs to move beyond itself. You float at the edge of a great cluster of galaxies, hundreds of billions of suns glimmering like scattered embers. For a moment, it feels eternal, this cosmic web of light. But then you notice something subtle, something almost imperceptible. The galaxies are not still. They are drifting away, slowly, relentlessly. At first, you think it's your eyes, perhaps an illusion of motion in the infinite dark. Yet as you watch longer, you feel the pull of truth. The entire universe is expanding. Every cluster, every glowing island of stars, every filament of dark matter, all are stretching apart, carried by something unseen. It is not motion through space. It is space itself unfurling. You imagine a breath taken by the cosmos, slow and deep, pushing galaxies farther and farther apart. The light that reaches you has traveled for billions of years, and even now as it arrives, the space between you and its source is still stretching. The universe, it seems, is not only vast, it is restless. Astronomers once believed this expansion should be slowing, as if gravity, the universe's quiet glue, would eventually pull everything back together. But the opposite is true. The expansion is speeding up. Some hidden energy, some force woven through the fabric of space, is pushing galaxies away faster and faster. They named it dark energy. You whisper the words in your mind, and they sound more like poetry than physics. Dark energy. It is everywhere, filling all of space like an invisible wind. It cannot be seen or touched, yet it accounts for nearly 70% of everything that exists. You let that number settle inside you. Most of the cosmos is made not of light, not of matter, but of something nameless, a pressure that doesn't pull, but pushes. You imagine this energy as the soft exhale of creation itself, an ancient sigh that began long ago and never stopped. Like breath filling a lung, it stretches the cosmic fabric, carrying galaxies apart like motes of dust in sunlight. Every second, every heartbeat, space grows. Quietly, without friction, without sound. You try to picture it. Perhaps space is like dough rising in an invisible oven, galaxies as raisins expanding with it. The raisins aren't moving through the dough. The dough itself is swelling, creating more room between them. No matter where you stand, every galaxy seems to drift away, and the farther it is, the faster it flees. That simple observation, light from distant galaxies stretching into longer, redder wavelengths, revealed one of the universe's greatest secrets. It told us that the cosmos is not static, not frozen, but evolving. Every star, every atom, every corner of existence participates in this grand expansion, and at its heart lies mystery. You drift deeper into thought. What is dark energy truly? Scientists don't know. Some say it is the energy of the vacuum itself, the same quantum fields that ripple in empty space, the same subtle hum you felt in the last chapter. Others suspect it's something entirely new, a property of space, yet undiscovered, a whisper of physics beyond our reach. Whatever it is, its presence bends fate. You imagine the future it will shape. As dark energy continues to accelerate the expansion, galaxies will drift so far apart that their light will never reach each other again. The night sky, billions of years from now, will fade into loneliness. Only the nearest stars will remain visible to distant observers. Then even they too will vanish into the dark. And yet, even in that vision, there is something peaceful. The universe, like everything living, changes and transforms. Its expansion is not destruction. It's motion, inevitable and natural, a rhythm beyond judgment. You sense that same rhythm in your own breathing, in the way your chest rises and falls, in the way time flows without pause. The cosmos, you realize, is teaching you how to let go. You remember how gravity once seemed absolute, the force that pulled stars together, that shaped galaxies and planets. Now you see its counterpart, a force not of gathering, but of release. Dark energy is the universe's exhale, balancing the eternal inhale of gravity. Both are necessary, both are sacred. You drift through the expanding fabric of space, feeling its quiet stretch. It doesn't tear, it simply grows. Between galaxies, the vacuum itself blooms, forming more of itself in every instant. It feels endless, yet delicate. A slow unfolding you can almost hear. The expansion isn't chaotic. It's smooth, constant, serene. You imagine it as a tide that never turns, carrying everything outward. Even now, as you think, galaxies move apart faster than light can bridge. The boundaries of the visible universe retreat, like the edge of a dream dissolving when you wake. For a moment, you close your eyes and sense the stillness within the motion. Dark energy doesn't roar, it whispers. It expands space quietly, persistently, like frost spreading across glass. You can almost feel its touch, a calm outward drift that never stops. You think of how this expansion began. With the Big Bang, the moment space and time themselves were born. That initial explosion wasn't an explosion into space, it was an expansion of space. Every inch of the universe carries that original momentum, stretched now by dark energy's steady hand. It's as if the cosmos remembers its own birth, echoing it forever. You open your eyes. Before you, galaxies stream outward in every direction, not as chaos, but as choreography. Each one recedes, its light stretching thinner, redder, older. The scene feels vast, yet strangely intimate, as if the universe is showing you how movement can coexist with peace. Perhaps you think the universe isn't escaping at all. Perhaps it's expanding toward balance, finding more space for itself, more silence, more breath. Dark energy, then, is not a violent force. It's gentleness on a cosmic scale. It doesn't shove galaxies apart. It allows them to drift, to unfold, to continue. In that way, it resembles something deeply familiar. The quiet longing in all living things to grow, to explore, to move beyond what they were before. You realize that even the universe is learning how to expand into its own potential. The thought comforts you. You float in that vast, invisible current, surrounded by stars that slowly drift from your view. It feels neither sad nor lonely, only peaceful, like watching ripples spread across an infinite pond. You wonder how this expansion will end. Will dark energy keep growing stronger, tearing galaxies and atoms apart in a final silent acceleration, a big rip? Or will it fade, allowing gravity to gather the cosmos once more, folding it back into itself? No one knows, but uncertainty feels soft here. The mystery itself feels like a lullaby. The cosmos hums with possibilities, and you are part of its song. You drift through this widening space, feeling your thoughts stretch with it. Calm, curious, boundless. The stars recede like memories, but their light remains, echoing across time. And in that faint, eternal glow, you sense another secret calling, not of matter, not of energy, but of time itself. What if this expansion, this drift is not only outward but forward? What if time, too, is stretching, and memory, like starlight, carries the echo of everything that's ever been? You listen to that question echo through the expanding dark. If space can grow, perhaps time can bend, and perhaps, in its curves, the universe hides its greatest paradox yet. You see it now. Galaxies woven together like dewdrops on an invisible net. The universe has structure, rhythm, and grace. Every strand connects to another, and somewhere within it, so do you. The cosmos feels almost alive. You drift, weightless, through a darkness that is not empty at all. It feels like standing inside the breath between stars, vast, silent, yet pulsing with quiet life. Ahead of you, faint glimmers bloom into view. Galaxies, billions of them, forming a faint web that stretches farther than thought itself. They shimmer like dew strung along unseen threads, each bead a world, each thread a path through gravity and time. The deeper you look, the clearer the pattern becomes. The galaxies are not scattered at random. They follow a hidden rhythm, like notes on a cosmic harp. Clusters gather in great knots of light, and between them lie immense voids, vast and silent as ancient cathedrals. You begin to see how the universe organizes itself, not through intention, but through the steady whisper of gravity and time. Scientists call it the cosmic web, a great architecture made not by hands, but by the patient unfolding of natural law. It is a map of everything that exists, from the smallest stars to the most distant quasars. Each filament spans millions of light years, yet in the grand scale, it is delicate, almost fragile, like lace woven from the dark itself. You imagine it. Dark matter as the threads, gravity as the tension that holds them taut, and galaxies as the luminous beads caught upon those invisible strings. The web stretches in all directions, endless, unbroken, expanding gently into forever. And though it appears still, it is alive with motion. Every cluster drifts, every filament trembles slightly, as if the universe itself were breathing. When you look closer, you realize the pattern mirrors so many others. The branching veins of a leaf, the neural connections in a human brain, the delicate filigree of frost on a window pane. Nature repeats its forms, from the smallest cells to the grandest scales. Perhaps it is the language of creation, the way the universe thinks or dreams. You drift closer to one glowing cluster. Hundreds of galaxies turn slowly around each other, like dancers caught in an endless waltz. Within them, billions of suns burn, each surrounded by planets, moons, and dust. Somewhere, light touches life. Somewhere, eyes may be lifting toward the same endless night, wondering what lies beyond. It's humbling, this vast design, to realize that what feels chaotic from up close becomes graceful from afar. That galaxies and stars form patterns not through will, but through simple laws repeating endlessly. It's as if the universe composes itself through quiet consistency, letting gravity, expansion, and dark matter weave their eternal symphony. You try to imagine what this web looked like long ago. In the early universe, matter was evenly spread, a fog of hydrogen and helium, glowing faintly from the afterglow of the Big Bang. Then, like ripples forming in a pond, tiny fluctuations appeared, slight differences in density, no more than 1 part in 100,000. Those faint imperfections became seeds. Over billions of years they grew, pulled together by gravity, forming filaments, nodes, and clusters. The grand design you now float through. The web, then, is not an accident. It is the natural outcome of the universe learning its own structure. A pattern born from imperfection, shaped by the slow dance of forces older than time itself. As you move along one filament, the light fades, replaced by darkness so deep it feels like falling through silence. These are the cosmic voids, great gulfs between structures, where galaxies are rare and the darkness reigns unbroken. Yet even here, something stirs. Invisible threads of dark matter continue, unseen but strong, maintaining connection even through emptiness. The web is never truly broken. It's easy to forget sometimes that even the emptiness holds meaning. The spaces between galaxies allow the structures to exist at all. Like pauses between heartbeats, they make the rhythm possible. You realize that absence is not nothing. It is part of the balance, the necessary stillness that lets everything else unfold. You think of your own life, of the spaces between moments, the silences that give shape to sound, the rests that define the melody. Perhaps you too are a small piece of a larger pattern, one that stretches far beyond comprehension. You are connected to everything else, through time, through gravity, through the shared atoms that once lived in stars. The web shimmers faintly, and for a moment, you imagine you can hear it, a vibration too deep for ears, too vast for words, a kind of cosmic resonance, a hum of existence itself. It is steady, patient, eternal, and in that soundless song, you sense a truth both scientific and sacred. The universe is not a random sprawl, but a living network of relationship. Every particle, every star, every human heartbeat, connected, You drift farther, watching how the filaments merge and diverge, creating bridges between distant clusters. Astronomers map these connections using light that has traveled billions of years to reach us. They trace the paths of galaxies, measure the invisible scaffolding of dark matter, and find order hidden in the apparent chaos. With each discovery, the picture grows clearer, and yet deeper mysteries unfold. How did such order arise from near nothingness? Why does matter arrange itself this way? Why does the universe prefer threads and clusters over emptiness? The answers may lie in the laws of physics, but also in something more subtle. The way energy and space respond to each other, shaping an evolving design that never stops changing. It's possible that what you see now is just one phase. Over trillions of years, galaxies may drift apart as dark energy stretches space even further. The filaments might thin, the clusters fade. The grand web could dissolve into silence once more, a vast, gentle unraveling. But even then, its memory will remain, written into the background radiation, into the structure of everything that was. For now, though, it is here, alive, vast, connected. You move gently through it, following a line of light until it disappears into a dim horizon. Somewhere ahead, beyond the visible edge, lies something even deeper, the hidden fabric of reality itself. You breathe in, feeling the scale of it all. The stars, the voids, the threads. You too are part of this web, made of the same matter, bound by the same laws, moving quietly through the same expanding space. The thought feels peaceful, like being held by the universe itself. And as you float within this immense network of connection, a quiet thought forms in your mind, soft, curious, and full of wonder. If this is how the universe arranges matter, what, then, shapes the hidden patterns of life? You close your eyes, still drifting within the glowing threads, and sense another web. One not of galaxies, but of living things. A quieter pattern, smaller, yet no less mysterious. You wonder if, in tracing the stars, you have only begun to glimpse the design within yourself.